Good morning, awesome people. We are talking about Bharani Nakshatra as the compatibility for lasting love and compatibility. Second one, the second nakshatra falls in Aries, and the considerations are as follows. Moon in Bharani Nakshatra for a man, same can be applicable for a woman, and we are only focusing on the sign of the where the moon is falling in. In this case, moon is in Aries in Bharani Nakshatra for a man. Can be for a woman also. Okay, but I'm putting in man deliberately because Aries is a male sign. So the preference is always for the moon to be in a male sign for a man's chart, right? It's obvious. If it's moon is in the male sign, it is more masculine in nature and approach. There's nothing right or wrong about this. It's just a kind of a preference in the matter, right? It's the approach. Masculine and feminine are approaches, among other things. So just focus on the sign the moon is falling in, not on the ascendant necessarily. It can be in any one of these houses. So don't worry about right now about ascendant only. It can be in any one of the second to 12 houses also, but in the sign of Aries in Bharani Nakshatra. So which are the compatible partners for this? For a lasting love, we are only considering Bhakut principle here. Okay, it's very important. Lasting love and compatibility we are talking about. So Bharani is compatible with Gemini. The woman's moon should be in Gemini, in Punarvasu, Mrigashira, or even Ardra Nakshatra because Bharani is a Manushagana and even Ardra is a Manushagana. As the brown ones, circled ones, are all Manushaganas in every one of the signs. As you can see, it's marked already. The blue ones are Devganas, the brown ones are Manushaganas, and the yellow ones are Rakshasaganas. Okay, just so you know, the short forms of nakshatras are there. So I have stuck here in the Devganas, Mrigashira as well as Punarvasu, but it can be in Ardra as well in Gemini. That's the first compatibility. So if the man's moon is in Bharani, the woman's moon should be in Punarvasu, Mrigashira, or Ardra in Gemini. That's one. Another good combination for lasting love would be in Punarvasu, Pushya, and maybe even Ashlesha, although Ashlesha is Rakshasagana, but it's fine because Manushya does have a compatibility with both Devganas as well as Rakshasaganas. It's like a bridge. It's like an in-between thing. Okay. So woman's moon should be in Punarvasu or Pushya in the Cancer sign. Cancer sign again can be in any one of the ascendants, any one of the 12 ascendant chart. Yeah. We already know this. The third one will be in Libra, Aries opposite to Libra, the seventh house in Swati Nakshatra, or in case of Bharani Nakshatra, man's moon in Bharani, it can also be in Chitra or Vishakha also. Bharani being a Manusya Gana, it is compatible with Rakshasa Ganas of Chitra and Vishakha also. Please remember this. Next one for moon in Bharani in Aries would be in Capricorn. The woman's moon should be in Capricorn in Shravana. It is shown in Shravana, but it can also be in Uttarashada or Dhanishta as indicated, right? It can be in either one because this is Manusya Gana and this is Rakshasa Gana. Manusya Ganas have got a wider compatibility compared to Devganas and Rakshasaganas. Okay. And last one would be in the sign of Aquarius in Purva Bhadrapada or Dhanishta or Shatbhisha. Okay. It can be in that as well. This is the moon compatibility. So make sure the moon is in these signs. It can be in Bharani, man's or woman's, and these all can be man's as well. Okay. Now let us see the characteristics of Bharani Nakshatra, right? What is the intimacy and how does Bharani look at intimacy? Now we have got the lovers in a bubble here, right? The characteristics of intimacy of Bharani would be something like this. Passionate and intense. Bharani people can be passionate and intense approach to love. They experience deep emotions and are capable of forming strong emotional connections with their partners. We are talking about intimate bond between the husband and wife, the lovers. the male and the female, the masculine and the feminine, right? Because a lasting bond not necessarily is the 2 minutes in the bed. That's not a lasting bond. You're going to spend a lifetime together. We are considering that as the premise here. Another thing Bharani is after is sensual and physical. Heightened appreciation for sensuality and physical intimacy, indulging in pleasurable experiences with their partners, and may prioritize physical aspect of the relationship. It's just what we prioritize. Nakshatras have a signature of prioritizing one thing over the other. It's like an archetype. You can call it the Vedic astrology archetypes if you wish to, if you're coming from a Western astrology perspective. Bharani is also determined and persistent, unwavering commitment to their relationships, putting efforts to overcome challenges and ensure longevity of the bond. Is one thing Bharani is after. Remember this. Okay, longevity of the bond. Possessive and jealous, fiercely protective of their loved ones, which may sometimes lead to feelings of jealousy or possessiveness. This is a downside of Bharani. Remember, this whole thing comes as a package. If you're marrying a man or a woman of Bharani, you can expect all of these to show up very strongly if their moon is in Bharani in terms of relationship. Ambitious and goal oriented, they appreciate a partner who understands and encourages their ambitions. So this could be a connection point. For example, if another person from another nakshatra is also goal and ambitious oriented, which shall cover each nakshatra, this could be a connection point also. No need to see this as a downside. If husband and wife support each other in their career, ambition, goals, what's wrong with that, right? It's definitely a plus point as I see it. Emotional transformation. Potential to experience profound growth and introspection, leading to personal evolution and emotional maturation. How do I understand? The growth and relationship in any nakshatra, doesn't matter how idealistic it looks or sounds like, is all about evolution. We are all evolving as souls, evolving as partners, husbands and wives. The partnership is on a continuous evolutionary path. Doesn't matter which way you slice this pie, it is going to be always on an evolutionary path. What we are trying to do here is to understand where each one comes from. What is it that they are about? What is it that drives them? How does one partner view intimacy, one nakshatra view intimacy versus how the other one is? Responsible and reliable. They take their commitments seriously and can be counted on to fulfill their promises and support their partners. Beautiful aspect of that. Protective and nurturing. This aspect comes from the fact that Bharani is guarded by Yama. The deity is Yama, the lord of Dharma, and it's all about protection of the weak, nurturing the weak, protection of the weak. Its symbol is the womb, right? It stands for the womb. So it protects the child, it nurtures the child. So this aspect of Bharani comes from the protecting, nurturing aspect of the mother. They like to mother, they like to take care of their partner's emotional and physical well-being, offering a sense of security and stability in the relationship. Very nice aspect. Strong-willed and assertive. Now you need a strong-willed and assertive partner on the other side if these persons are strong and assertive. So remember that part when we come to the other nakshatras as well. Yeah. They are not afraid to express their opinions and stand up for themselves and their loved ones. They appreciate a partner who respects their individuality and independence. Now, the man or woman in this our bubble of lovers can be either one. Either one can be Bharani Nakshatra, right? So you've got to understand from this perspective. Bharani looking at it, it's private, it's possessive, it's nurturing like the womb, giving the characteristics of Bharani here. It wants to nurture, it wants to hold, it wants to possess, it wants to be very, very physical in nature. We are talking about the organ, the woman's reproductive organ as the symbol of Bharani. So we are talking about one which is very physically sensual in nature. These are the connection points for Bharani Nakshatra. Whether it be man, whether it be woman, these are the traits they embody within the context of a relationship, within the context of a marriage. And you need to understand if you have a Bharani partner, moon in Bharani, these aspects, because again, once again, you got to take the Aries aspect also. Aries is the initiator. Aries energy is also there in Bharani because it falls within it. But these are finer aspects. But difference between Ashwini and Bharani, now you can compare and contrast, right? They're different. Although it's in the sign of Aries, when you zoom in and look at the stars within Aries, little bit is Ashwini and little bit is Bharani. Look at it that way. The constellation or nakshatra is the zooming in view within the zodiac sign of those particular stars and constellations. Okay. So I'll end this with this one. And next one we shall take, I think it's Rohini, right? Kritika, sorry. Next one is Kritika. So next one we'll talk about the intimacy and lasting love aspects of Kritika Nakshatra. Meanwhile, take care, be safe. Hey, beautiful people, welcome to my channel. We're discussing the love and compatibility in relationships between different moon signs, yes, in this series. In this playlist, so we are in Purva Falguni now because last time we covered Magha Nakshatra. We are discussing the Leo Nakshatras in the sign of Leo and their compatible partners. We are looking at the Bhakut compatibility, we are looking at the moon sign compatibility, and we are examining the intimate characteristics. So first, let us discuss moon sign compatibility for a lasting love and bonding. So moon in Purva Falguni for a man or a woman, of course, will match with moon in the same nakshatra, right? Leo to Leo. That's number one. The second match will be the third sign from Leo, which is Libra, right? As you can see, it's marked over there. By the way, if you're new to my channel, please watch this on an iPad or your desktop or a laptop or something. It's a bigger screen so you can see what all I'm going on about. So the third sign from Leo is Libra, right? And moon over Libra in Swati Nakshatra. Would match Purva Falguni as far as possible, although it will match, but with Chitra or Vishakha because they are Rakshasa Ganas. We are trying to match Devgana to Devgana, Manusha Gana to Devgana. We are trying to take a higher ascendance in human relationships and bonding, okay, and intimacy. So Purva Falguni being a Manusha Gana, it will match very well with the Devganas everywhere and with the Manusha Ganas. Manusha to Manusha, Manusha to Dev. Remember this. So Purva Falguni, man or woman's moon in Purva Falguni in the sign of Leo will match very well with Swati Nakshatra, man or woman's moon sign. That's number one. The second compatibility will be the fourth sign from Leo, which happens to be Scorpio. Not the fourth house. Don't confuse this. I'm just discussing signs. I've kept Leo ascendant. It's easier to deal with it. Okay. So fourth sign from Leo, wherever it is placed, whichever house it is placed in. So fourth sign from Leo is Scorpio, and the moon of the man or woman should be in Anuradha Nakshatra, because Anuradha is Devgana, not Vishakha or Jeshta as marked there. Moon in Purva Falguni, moon in Anuradha. Next level of compatibility. The third level of good compatibility for a moon in Purva Falguni would be moon Purva Falguni in Leo will be Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in Aquarius, because that's a Manushagana as well. Purva Falguni in Leo, Purva Bhadrapada in Aquarius will match very well. Also, the Pada of Purva Bhadrapada, which is in Aquarius, because it also goes towards Capricorn, right? Oh no. Sorry, 12, Pisces. I still need one more coffee, I think. So, the next level of compatible nakshatra for moon in Purva Falguni would be the 10th sign from Leo, which happens to be Taurus, and moon in Rohini Nakshatra, because Rohini is Manushagana. So Purva Falguni matches with Rohini, but also matches with Mrigashira because it is Devgana. Both. We have two matches in Taurus for moon in Purva Falguni in Leo. And then the last level of compatibility will be moon in Purva Falguni and Moon in Ardra Nakshatra in the 11th sign from Leo, which happens to be Gemini. It is also compatible with Mrigashira and Punarvasu since they are Devganas as well. See, I have made the bubbles to for ease of understanding and ready reference. All the blue bubbles are all Devgana in the nakshatras. All the brown bubbles are Manushagana and all the yellow bubbles are Rakshasagana. So you can see that right away in every chart that I'm doing. This is like a ready reference. I don't believe in remembering too many things or memorizing all these things. It's pointless, right? We need to get ahead quick and we need to get ahead fast, like a ready reference. Much of the material in my channel is all about a ready reference material. You can get on quickly with things without doing too much research and analysis or going to 20,000 astrologers, right? No point. So, 11th sign from Leo happens to be Gemini. And in Gemini, because there are two Devganas, Mrigashira and Punarvasu, as well as there's the Manushagana Ardra Nakshatra, it is compatible with all. Okay? Now let us examine the intimacy aspects of Purva Falguni itself. See, no matter how many times I'm saying this, I say this in every video and I'll keep saying this. No matter how much you do that great point system that Vedic astrologers popularly use, parents in India will run to their astrologers and say, see, this is my daughter's or son's chart and can you match this properly? He will just take a software printout and say he will tell Ashtakutagana matching and say this is fine. No, it isn't. We need to study the intimate aspects of the nakshatra. The man and the woman need to. You need to. If you're a young person watching this, you need to compare the nakshatra also for lasting love and for understanding what the guy or what the girl feels as intimate boss. Okay, let's see what the intimate aspects of Purva Falguni are. So there you have it. Purva Falguni Nakshatra's intimacy aspects. I think the screen has got a little skewed. Let me bring it down. There you go. Purva Falguni Nakshatra. What are the characteristics of Purva Falguni? First of all, it's a Manushagana. Yes. Its deity is Bhaga, the Lord of Fortune, Bhaga. That's why we say Bhagavan, the one who is the Lord of recipient of everything fortunate. Guna is Tattva is Rajas, so it wants to move, it wants to feel stuff. What are the characteristics of intimacy for a Purva Falguni Nakshatra? They are romantic and passionate types. They are naturally romantic and passionate in their love relationships. They enjoy the thrill of love and express their affection in grand gestures, typical Leo style of being grandiose about everything. But this is not like Magha. Magha was very traditional, if you remember. Pura Falguni is out there. They are the romanticizers. They are the Casanovas of the zodiac. They are charismatic and charming. They possess an innate ability to attract others with their warmth, with their friendliness, and with a magnetic presence. Purva Falguni is very magnetic, right? They are creative and artistic. They appreciate and value artistic expression and may seek partners who share their artistic interests. If you take the professional attitude of Purva Falguni, we shall see that people also, as we are doing other series as well here, career and relationships, these people are artists, these people are actors, Hollywood, Bollywood, performance artists, musicians, they are highly creative people. If Venus, things like Venus, Jupiter, Moon, etc. are present in Purva Falguni, it gives them an artistic drive. It gives them that magnetic presence. If it comes in the ascendant, they are even very attractive looking, first or second house, right? So, creative and artistic people need that connection with their partners as well. Just like doctors end up marrying doctors all the time, this also need to find a common connect with their partners. That's what it says. Sensual and pleasure seeking. They enjoy indulging in finer things in life. This is a very Venus like nakshatra, right? It's ruled by Venus. Sensual and pleasure seeking. They enjoy indulging in the finer things of life. Fine dine restaurants, hotels, resorts, spas, that kind of thing, perfumes. They seek partners who can share their enjoyment. Again, you got to find a connect. If the woman is interested in a lot of perfumes and the guy doesn't give a crap, how do you think it will manage even if your point system matches? You are having totally different interests. It's not the way things work, folks. Warmth and generosity. They are nurturing and caring, and they often go extra mile to make their loved ones feel special. Giving gift cards, wishing them one different things, getting them flowers every other day, for example. Getting them even a cup of coffee from Starbucks, maybe. I don't know. Doing things which are warmth and which are generous and which are caring for one another. We need that in this world today, don't you think? Little more warmth, little more caring, little more compassion, even between partners. Most partners who have come to me for consultation were almost on the verge of breakup. They're all about like, well, my marriage has faded, or something has disappeared, or the spark has disappeared. What do I do, Mr. Astrologer? And I tell them the same thing, looking at their charts and looking at their nakshatra. I said, she looks at it like this. You look at it like this. You need to do common things. And I've covered this in so many videos. I shall continue to explore finer aspects for you, beautiful people. Okay. They are warm and sociable. They enjoy being in the company of others and they seek partners who can accompany them in social settings. They are social birds. If you are an introvert type, you won't match very well with a Purva Falguni unless you understand their needs. And they say, okay, this one, my husband or my wife is very social bird. He or she loves to go out there and do parties and have people over and have guests over in the house and we do a cookout, dine out, barbecue, whatever it is, right? We need social gatherings. The husband may be like that. The wife might be not so much, depending upon where the moon is. We just saw that if the moon is in Anuradha Nakshatra, Anuradha people are very introverted type. It matches with Puru Falguni as we saw. But what needs to be understood there? The understanding needs to be like, okay, I am an introvert, but this man or woman is an extrovert. Fine. Everybody is not born the same. There's no judgment here. But once they meet, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend who is Pura Falguni and you are one of those others, which are introverted types like a Scorpio, Scorpio is typically introverted. You can have them, you can appreciate them, and you can have them appreciate you also. Because remember, they are warmth and having generosity. They will understand if you explain it to them. It's that simple. They are romantic and idealistic. Romantic idealism. Romantic idealistic view of love. And this can be a little downside, as you can imagine. They may have high expectations for their relationships and seek partners who can match their romantic vision. Now, as you might imagine, in 2023 and beyond, this can get a little non practical, for lack of better words. You've got to be a little one foot on the ground before you start getting carried away with all the candlelight dinners and, cuddling in the bed with tons of pillows and put stars up in your ceiling. And it's fine. There's nothing wrong with any of this. It's beautiful. It's tender. It's caring. But one foot has to be on the ground. Purva Falguni's challenge is having too much of those expectations without any proper grounding or without knowing what the partner's nakshatra is, where they come from. Be it man or woman, it's immaterial. Where are they coming from? What is their nakshatra? What is their drive? And we are covering all of this now. You need to understand to be able to connect, right? I'll leave you with this. Take care. Be safe. We shall cover the next one. I think it is Uttar Falguni Nakshatra. Meanwhile, take care. Be safe. There's the moon compatibility chart for you. So, moon, if it's in Purvashada Nakshatra for a man or a woman, the first level of compatibility will be in Purva Bhadrapada Nakshatra in Aquarius. Be careful of the padas here, get divisions, because Purva Bhadrapada also falls in uh, Pisces. But even there, in this case, it is compatible because it's a 3-4 relationship. Okay, the first level of compatibility is within Purva Bhadrapada of Aquarius. Purvashada, Purva Bhadrapada, Manushagana, Manushagana. Manushagana should be always compatible with Manushagana and only Devgana, never ever try to match it with a Rakshasa. Okay. Right. So Purva Ashada moon, the next level of compatibility would be with the fourth sign from Sagittarius, which is Pisces. And now the moon should be in Uttara Bhadrapada or Purva Bhadrapada. Again, Manushagana compatibility. Also, it can be compatible with the Revati Nakshatra in the sign of Pisces. Why? Because the Revati Nakshatra is a Devana. Now you're looking for sort of an ascendance in relationship. You're looking for the higher vibe, so to speak. The next level of compatibility for a moon in Purva Ashada is the seventh sign, meaning right opposite sign, which is Gemini. So opposite to 9 is 3, opposite to Sagittarius is Gemini. And now the moon should be in any one of the three, really speaking. It can be in Mrigashira, Ardra, or Punarvasu. Because Mrigashira and Punarvasu both are Devgana, so there is compatibility between Dev and Manusha. Also between Ardra, because it's a Manushagana. So all three are compatible for Purva Ashada. But Purva Ashada, I would suggest being more in Sagittarius and a dual sign. It is constantly moving, constantly optimistic, constantly searching. Mrigashira would be a very good compatible sign. That's why I stuck it there. Next level of compatibility for Moon in Purva Ashada would be the 10th sign from Sagittarius, which happens to be Virgo, and in the sign of Uttara Falguni. Also Hasta, because Hasta is also a Devgana, never Chitra. Because we're talking about Manushagana, let's go towards higher aspects of intimacy. Let's try to make better relationships in a better world, right? Better relationships create a better world. That's where I come from. So Uttara Falguni and Hasta. Once again, Purvashana and Hasta would be very good because they're similar in their traits. They love outgoing. They love to explore stuff. They can do it together. Exploring things after but one gets married or has an intimate relationship going on is what one looks for. Long-term emotional bond comes to mind. The last level of compatibility for a Purva Ashada moon would be in Swati Nakshatra in the 11th sign from Libra. Sorry, 11th sign of Libra from Sagittarius. Swati and Purva Ashada will have a very different dynamic because Swati is very individualistic, Purva Ashada is very optimistic. They need to understand each other. This is where the nakshatra understanding comes into picture. Okay, so without any further ado, let us see what the intimacy characteristics of Purvashada Nakshatra really is. What does a Purvashada Nakshatra moon look for in a partner, in a love relationship? Let's see that. So the Purva Ashada, like I said, comes out of Mula. That means you come out of the intellectual depths and now you want to explore your optimism. Purva Ashada is highly optimistic nakshatra. Let's see the characteristics of intimacy then. Right there on the screen. Optimistic and enthusiastic. They have a positive outlook on life and bring a vibrant energy to their partnerships. See that right there from going into the intellectual depths, which often leads to a kind of intellectual pessimism, if I may call that. They come into a more optimistic sign. They bring a vibrant energy to their partnerships. They seek partners who support their personal development and encourage them to explore new horizons. How beautiful is that? They are independent, kind, and adventurous. They enjoy embarking on new adventures with their partnerships and may seek relationships that allow for exploration and personal growth. You can see in the Sagittarius, both in Mula and in Purvashada, the themes of personal exploration. They want to deep dive. It's the ninth sign, right? It's the sign of self exploration. It's the beginning of self exploration. They may seek partners who share their spiritual beliefs and engage in deep discussions about life's meaning and purpose. Beautiful, Purvasha the moon. Similar to Mula, but in a more earthly human plane. It's a Manushya Gana, so it'll be more on a human level. Not so much just about intellectual, like Mula is very intellectual in nature. At the human level, intimacy becomes different. And at the tamas level of Rakshasa, it becomes all about going into the depth of material plane exploration. Think about these aspects. There's a difference between Devgana, Manushagana, and Rakshasagana. They are charismatic and charming. They have a natural ability to attract others with a magnetic personality and captivating presence. You must have seen this in your friends and circles, right? They may have an artistic talents and enjoy engaging in creative activities with their partners. So if you are into creative arts, performing arts, you'll get along very well with Purvashada people. Okay, and they use it as a form of self-expression. Artists can be doing things for others, or it can be doing things as a means of expressing themselves to the outer world. Huge difference between two artistic kinds of talents, if I may call that. They are social and friendly. They have a wide circle of friends and acquaintances. This is social bird Sagittarius. They value building connections in their relationships. They have a clear aspirations and work hard to achieve their objectives. So hard workers, they're not lazy bums. And they appreciate partners who share their drive and ambition. Purva Ashada is the beginning of victory. Ashada means victory. It's the beginning of one who wants to be victorious in their pursuits. Purva Ashada moons are like that. Get used to their ambitions and their drive. And as a partner, doesn't matter which other moons you are, as I just covered, remember to always have a level of support for their drive and ambitions. Support them. They are passionate and romantic. They bring strong emotional intensity to their relationships and seek deep connections filled with love and romance. They value trust and reliability in their relationships. Okay? Trust and reliability. Those are the key words for Purvashada. And expect their partners to be faithful and devoted. So this person is going, Purvashada people are going more into security and stability, like Capricorn. Because the next one we shall be dealing with is Uttarashada Nakshatra, which is now going from Sagittarius going into Capricorn, which is an earth sign. So it looks for more grounding, more stability, more long term. So this is the beginning of that. Next, we shall deal with Purva Ashada. Moon signs are more or less the same compatibility as Purva Ashada. I'll be dealing more with the Capricorn counterpart of Uttarashada because the dominant portion of Uttarashada is in Capricorn. That's next. Okay. Meanwhile, take care, be safe.